Hmm? Well, I mean, okay, let's see here. First of all, it's a little forced, I guess.
Forced? You shouldn't capitalize that. Natsuki rereads my poem. I'm a little nervous since I had never had anyone critique my poetry before.
Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
That's kind of the whole point of this exercise, isn't it? I kind of worked pretty hard on this, and even if it's crap, I'd still like at least a little feedback.
Oh.
In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said.
Oh. Well, it's just, I didn't expect this poem to be so... you were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
I am, yes, thank you. A slight grin spreads across my face. So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
Ooh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that I liked it. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
Pretty sure you never actually said you liked it. Plus, you're like one stammer away from calling me a baka. I say that last part mostly to myself. I also forgot the punctuation. It's nice to know, though, that my efforts were not in vain. But it seems like it'll be a while before she's comfortable enough to truly express her honest feelings with me. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right?
Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Eagle's got a plan. Munker.
I like it, Hallie.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Ah, jeez.
No. Of course it makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she has that unique writing style. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. So I've asked this before, but since it's you, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein?
Yeah. I mean, if I did, it was probably a long time ago. But I know what you're referring to with this style of storytelling. Monica nods.
He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad.
Yeah, short and sweet. Guess that kind of sounds like someone we know.
Exactly. But you see, the great thing about those stories is that they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. Maybe Natsuki's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge to write like that and still be able to get my meaning across.
Yep, now with that being said...
Monica's expression turns serious for a moment.
Since I'm assuming you are interested in getting to know Natsuki better, you should know something about her. Her issues at home are stable for now, more so than they were before, but I still wouldn't press her too much about them.
Is her dad... I mean, based on our conversation earlier, I got the feeling he wasn't in the picture still, but... Monica shakes her head.
No, luckily that's not a problem, per se, anymore.
What does that mean?
Well, it's not really for me to tell you. You'll have to let her know You'll have to let her tell you about it, but only when she's ready to talk about it. Things with her dad changed quite abruptly, and there's more to the story than you were originally led to believe.
I see. Well, I'm a little more worried now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound so dire. She's not in any immediate danger or anything. I just wanted to make sure you knew not to push too much. Given her defensive nature and such, she'll open up in time.
Got it.
And in the meantime, you can use your newfound poetry skills to help. Just know that you don't necessarily have to stick to her exact style.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things out. Yeah. Alright, Yuri.
What is this hot trash?
Say Yuri. Okay. So this time we'll have to side with Natsuki.
Wait.
Side with Natsuki. Stop it! I slap. Yuri, we're all trying our best here, so I think we owe it not just to each other, but to ourselves to try and be a little more open to new ideas and expressions. I was a pretty big coffee drinker for a long time until I tried tea, and now I love it. And nobody can deny that your writing style is well established and definitely something you're good at. but I think that if you look further, you'd see there's a lot of merit in different styles other than your own.
I suppose you're right.
Anyway, I'm getting off track. The point is, we all have something we're good at, but just because something isn't exactly someone's cup of tea doesn't mean it lacks merit. And that was it. That was all. I remember that being a little more elaborate in the original, but whatever. Sucks. Playing it. Vanilla. Bouncy? Bouncy. Told you she gets all the jump ones. Twirl. Milk. It's like a cooking ingredient, guys. Get your heads out of the gutter. Jumpy. Kitty. Kitty. Maybe Rose? I think Rose is the most likely one. Dang. Chocolate. Hop. Poof. Bunny. Doki. Puppy. Are those the same blueberry pancakes we ate on the Sayori route? Was Cheeks Sayori or her? I think Cheeks is Natsuki. Yeah, Natsuki likes Cheeks. Oh, no, I'm gonna let it expire actually. What happens? I hope I'd let her down. You wouldn't have to be grifting me, would you? Good. We didn't go. Hi, Natsuki. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to me expectantly. Yeah. Don't worry, I kept my promise. I pull the first volume of Perfect Girls out of my bag. From my bag. Natsuki takes it from my hands, and quickly turns it over, presumably to check for wrinkles. Hey, I'm not that careless. I handle manga all the time, you know.
I just wanted to make sure. Can you blame me for being paranoid? I don't give people my manga every day, you know.
True, I guess I would as well, but you don't have to do it in front of me either. Natsuki huffs a little, dismissing or any instance she may have caused me.
So, what did you think?
I thought the characters were actually pretty well thought out. It was a little slow at first, kind of played out like you would typically expect. But then things really started to get going by the second chapter. Natsuki tries in vain to hide her excitement.
Right? It totally gets good after the first chapter. I think a lot of people tend to dismiss things and not give them a chance just because they're not, like, super exciting at first.
Well, naturally, a lot of times it takes the first part of something new to find its footing and to flesh out the characters and story. And she nods in agreement.
Yup, so how far did you get?
I got about as far as the end of chapter 6. Natsuki stares at me wide-eyed and slack-jawed.
You got that far into it?
How big is this manga, dude?
No way, I don't believe him. Okay, Hotshot, what happens at the end of it, chapter 6?
They all fly away and eat cake. The end. She's clearly not amused by this. Okay, fine, the cake is a lie.
You're such a dork. Seriously though, did you actually get that far?
Yeah, what can I say? When I get really interested in something, it's difficult for me to tear myself away from it.
Well, that's cool, I guess. At any rate, since you're so far into the story, want to...
She trails off for a moment, as she doesn't want to be the one to suggest cozying up for another joint reading session. Seeing her squirm is almost enjoyable. I decided to help her out, but not without getting in a little playful teasing. Yeah, definitely. Let's get to it. Are you going to be able to keep up, though? You know, given my reading comprehension prowess?
Oh god, I'm going to regret this, aren't I?
I chuckle. I'm kidding. Mostly. Let's do this. With that, she rolls her eyes as we make ourselves comfortable on the floor against the wall. We get through a few chapters, with Natsuki pointing out particular moments along the way, explaining some deep-cut references from the writer that most people wouldn't pick up on. Well. Seeing her get really animated with something she's so passionate about gives her a certain glow. I can see a sparkle in her eyes occasionally that makes her seem like a completely different person. There seems to be a lot of callbacks in this chapter. Were there other volumes I should have read before this one?
No. So, like, they created a sort of prequel series after they wrote this, which expands a bit on the lore and the things said in this one.
Ah, I see. So with the benefit of having read the prequels, that makes these more meaningful references.
Yup.
So I should have read the prequels first.
Nope.
The
prequels are better appreciated once you've read the original series. I know it makes more sense
Chronologically.
Yeah. It makes more sense that way if you read the prequel first, but you don't get to appreciate all the foreshadowing and such that they do.
I've personally really enjoyed watching or playing things chronologically. It just makes more sense that way. For me, if a series just keeps bouncing around in time with their plot and making it overly complicated, it makes it way too confusing on the reader or player to enjoy.
True, but sometimes part of the fun is seeing how everything is connected.
I guess, though it's sort of like trying to see the forest for the trees.
What?
Basically, it means trying to see the big picture amongst a bunch of little details.
Yeah, I suppose. I still enjoy it, though.
Oh, definitely. At any rate, I appreciate you pointing these things out to me. I don't think I would have caught them otherwise. Natsuki seems genuinely surprised by my compliment and seems unsure how to react.
Oh, well, it's not like I'd expect you to ever read the prequels, so...
Well, that's very kind of you, but I'll probably get around to reading them eventually.
Well, it won't be physical copies of the books.
What do you mean?
The prequel series was a limited edition that went out of print after like 100 copies were made. Apparently the publishing company went bankrupt or something.
Oh, that sucks. But then how did you read it? Do you own one of the 100 copies?
I wish. No, luckily someone was awesome enough to upload a copy online so you can read it there. Although... Well, it'd be pretty awesome to have an actual physical copy, but fat chance that ever happens. Nobody's going to give those up.
Ah, I see. Well, who knows? Maybe someday you'll find one of them and go up for sale online somewhere.
Yeah, probably for like $1 million or something.
That seems a tad excessive.
Might as well be $1 million, though, like I can afford it in 1,000,000 years.
I feel her pain. Depending on a person's interests or hobbies, having or building a collection can sometimes be really expensive.
Anyway, are you finished? We're coming up to the best part.
Ah, sorry. Yeah, let's keep going. Returning our attention to the task at hand, Natsuki shifts a little from her position. It was almost unnoticeable, but she had definitely scooted herself a little closer. Her head is practically resting against my shoulder at this point. Feeling my heart race a little, I tried to focus on the story. Next thing I know, I can hear her breathing more slowly. I look down and she appears to be asleep. She looks so peaceful I'd hate to disturb her. That, and the fact that she feels warm against my arm. As much as I'd like to let her stay asleep, I know she'd never let me hear the end of it if I just continue on like this without waking her. I try to gently wake her by nudging my arm a little, but she barely stirs. This time I try a little harder, and coughing a little. Still barely moving. This is starting to alarm me slightly. I decide it's time to flag down Monica. I make a motion towards Monica as I don't want to alarm Yuri and Sayori in case I'm overreacting. Seeing my arm waving, Monica gets up and moves swiftly but quietly towards me, as if knowing I didn't want to disturb the others. She kneels down next to me and we talk in hushed tones.
Hey, Hallie, what's going on? Oh.
As she looks at Natsuki, her eyes change from curiosity to realization. She gets up and walks back to her desk, rummaging through her purse for a moment, and retrieves a bottle of what looks like fruit juice and something in a wrapper. When she returns to where we're sitting, she kneels down again and starts to rub the side of Natsuki's arm.
Hey, Natsuki. Natsuki, you need to wake up. Here, I brought you something to drink.
Natsuki seems to stir a bit more this time and slowly takes the bottle from Monica, though Monica continues to hang onto it just in case. Guiding it to her lips, Natsuki begins to drink from it, slowly at first, but then gradually in full swigs. It was almost like magic. I could tell after a few minutes that Natsuki was looking a lot more like herself. Monica hands her the candy bar, and she begrudgingly takes it with a slight sigh.
Thanks, Monica.
Monica replies back with a soft, warm smile.
It's no problem, Natsuki, but please be sure to get something more substantial than you as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Natsuki waves off the advice as if she had heard it 100 times. Monica looks at me, and without saying a word, I nod in thanks to her. She smiles again and nods back, getting back up and heading towards the front of the classroom. Hey, you had me a little worried there.
It's fine. I'm just tired is all, and forgot to eat my snack this afternoon.
Natsuki.
We don't really have to talk about it, you know. It's embarrassing enough.
I can't hide my pained expression, but I decided not to press further. I make a mental note, however, to start carrying a bottle of fruit juice on me and maybe even a candy bar since Monica may not always be here if this happens again. All right, as you wish, though you don't really have anything to be embarrassed about. Do you want to continue where we left off?
No, that's all right. I already know how this bowling ends. You can take it home, though, if you want to finish it.
Oh, okay then. Do you still want to talk about it tomorrow and then start the next chapter? Natsuki pauses for a moment, looking a little unsure as though she's struggling with the answer.
We'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling tomorrow.
Fair enough. With that, we slowly get up from the floor. I offer my hand to help her up, but she just waves it off and pushes herself up. She stumbles a tiny bit, but quickly regains her balance. We both return to our desks, just as Monica gets up from hers.
Okay, everyone. I hope everyone has their poems. Let's break out into pairs and start sharing.
I can hear a small sigh come from the closet as everyone else starts fishing their papers out of their bags. Natsuki's first.
Alright, let's take a look.
Just get right into it. It's called dessert. Some people like cookies and others like cakes. Some prefer chocolate, others prefer vanilla. I like them all, and I like to share. I tried to share my dessert, but my friends didn't like it. Instead, they laughed at it because it looked funny. I didn't care what it looked like because it was mine and it made me happy. I recently met someone. She liked the same kind of desserts that I do. Her favorite one was parfait. I never tried it, but I think I'd like it. I'm glad I met her. Now we can talk about desserts together. Nobody will judge us. Nobody will laugh at us. It's nice to have someone like that. Someone to share the sweeter things in life with.
Are they writing these for me?
Are you alright? What did you think about it?
Huh? Oh, right. Oh, you've definitely got a knack, I'll give you that. But you still have a long way to go to get on my level.
Your level? If I want to get on your level... I can't not, dude. Her face turns a bright shade of red.
Short joke, huh? Very original.
I couldn't resist.
Sure. Anyway, let's start with the basics. First, you have to know exactly what it is you're trying to sing in your poem.
That's good.
Second, you have to make sure the reader can understand you. None of that deep intellectual crap that causes people having aneurysm just trying to read the first line.
That's bad.
Fourth,
Third.
shut it.
Shutting.
Next, just write it. Don't get caught up in trying to fancy it up or make it all moody.
Got it. Can't have moods in poems.
Are you writing this down?
Nope.
Ah, you're hopeless. Here, just read this. Maybe then you'll get a clue.
Amy likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her.
Not bad, right?
I can't say I'm surprised that it's the same, although this does afford me an opportunity. Yeah, truth be told, I hate spiders as well.
You're completely
Missing the point, I know. I know it's not actually about spiders. So is this the same Amy as in your roommate?
Yeah, she's kind of weird.
I see. Natsuki, is it possible that maybe you...
Then I what?
She looks at me with fire in her eyes. I decide it's best not to press the issue. At any rate, I think it's a good poem. It really conveys the message of ignorance and being true to oneself.
Well, I don't know about that last part, but the main gist of it was certainly the ignorance part. You know, maybe you're not as dumb as you look.
Well, I certainly try.
Keep it up. Seriously though, thanks, I guess.
For what?
I wasn't really sure about this whole poem sharing stuff. But I have to admit, I've actually been kind of enjoying it. Mainly because of you.
She says that last part under her breath, but I managed to catch most of it. You know what? Same, honestly. She turns bright red.
Really? Not that I care, that is. It's just nice to know that someone around here can appreciate good poetry.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally have someone to talk to who shares a lot of the same interests as myself.
Yeah, we are a rare breed, aren't we?
Sure are.
Anyway,
Looking down at the ground, she bites the lower corner of her lip.
just looking forward to tomorrow.
Aw, Natsuki, that's so sweet.
Okay, that's enough. We're done here.
Natsuki snatches her poem from my hand and marches off back to her desk. When she sits down, she looks at her paper and I can see her smile a little while she pushes her hair behind her ear.